Hello Greeks, freaks and makeup geeks, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is going to be a really simple special effects bruise tutorial. I'm going to show two methods, one using cream paints and one using eyeshadow. These are a really simple thing, nothing fancy. Before we get into it, yes, my entire look is the exact same as the simple special effects wound video. I'm filming on the same day, just a lot later now, and then I'm going to upload at different times. It's just what works for me. With that said, let's get straight into the bruising, but first of all, if you haven't already subscribed, go do that, that'd be awesome, and leave a comment of more video suggestions because I'm going to get dry real soon. So the first method is using cream paints, and for that you're going to need a cream paint bruise wheel. You can get these from loads of different brands, Meron, Ben Nye, the biggest ones. I have an 11 Ever palette, just your standard bruise wheel. There's lighting, there we go. So red, yellow, green, etc. You're also going to want a little sponge to stipple with. Yes, it's already been used, but it doesn't really matter. And then I also scrape some of my colours out. I don't go straight into it, otherwise that's kind of how you end up wasting pigment. So first of all, I'm going to take some of this red here as my sort of main base colour. And I'm going to dab on my brush around and start dabbing it into the place I want the bruise. You can also tear chunks off your sponge to add texture. I might do that later on when adding different colours. So I'm going to start off darker in the middle at the point of impact and then blend it out. I'm going to give a warning now, I've already tried to film this once and this camera picks up really weirdly, so it focuses on all the little marks and it makes my green paint look yellow. So you're going to have to excuse that. I don't know what is going on with this. I'm going to blend these through a little bit so they don't look as patchy. This is why you can tear chunks off. As I said, you can tear pieces away from the sponge to add texture and change how much of the sponge is making contact with skin, so it kind of adds skin texture. So yeah, I'm going to then go in with some of this purple, and I'm going to take some of my purple across the whole sponge and just stipple that on, again starting darker in the middle and working my way out. Again, it looks way more blotchy on camera than it does in person, so there's that. So it's working my way lighter around the outside and then a little bit darker in the middle. I'm now going to take some of this slightly darker, more brown red shade, just a little bit, and stipple that towards the middle. I'm not really going to go much further out with this. Next I'm going to go into some of my green and add just a little bit of green around the edges. You don't always have to do this. I know a lot of people do, but bruises tend to go green and like yellow obviously when they're aged, so this is what I mean. It shows up yellow and blotchy on camera. That's not what it looks like in real life, I promise. It just looks like a slightly blotchy green bruise, which is actually accurate for me because my skin bruises weirdly. So just dabbing that round the edges, you don't really put that in the middle. Just going to tear off some more pieces, just kind of cleaning it off and adding more texture. It's a good thing about these sponges is how easily they can break apart and be reused. So next I'm going to take a bit of yellow, just a little bit again, and again go around the edges of the bruise. And then kind of just topping it up, so I'm going to go back in with a little bit of my purple and just darken up some of the areas, kind of smudge it in a little bit, and a little bit again with my red, and I'm kind of just going to darken it up. You can always add lighter colour or whatever depending on how high impact you want it to be, and basically just go over it until you think it looks sufficiently bruised. So as I said, that is method 1, using a cream paint bruise wheel. You're probably going to want to find a way to set this in place because cream paint does smudge, so there's that. Then the second method is using the same colours but in eyeshadow. Obviously this depends on whether you have a colourful eyeshadow palette, but so long as you have red and purple you should be okay. So I'm just going to take my rainbow eyeshadow palette. This is the Revolution Marvelous Mattes Reloaded palette, and I'm going to use the same colour scheme. I'm just going to do it on the other part of my hand to show you. So I'm not going to talk about this too much, it's basically the same colour scheme. I'm going to go in with some red first, and taking a bit of this reddy purple and darkening up the centre of the bruise. Then taking some of this even darker, and I'm just going to dab this right in the middle. I'm then going to take some of this yellow shade here and do the same as with the cream paints and just dabble this around the edges. And then for my green, this looks orange, I swear it's not. For my green, I found that green is a bit too bright, so I'm going to use my Revolution Reloaded Deep Dive palette. And I'm going to take some of this green shade here and just work that round the edges as well to add the aged bruise look. And then it's just a case of finishing touches, so darkening any areas you think need darkened, adding more red, blending in the green, etc. just as you would do with cream paints, just to finalise to how you think a bruise on your skin would look. So I've just brought these into the sunlight to show you. As you can see, this is the cream paint bruise, and then that is the eyeshadow bruise. I've actually found I quite like using the eyeshadow, even though it's not as like a professional medium. I think it still gives the same effect. These do look really dark, look kind of like exaggerated a little bit for camera. You can always change how much pigment you use. I've also been attacked by Barney apparently. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys might find this useful, or even just interesting to watch. I find that bruising is one of those things that, you know what, if you really want to get out of a PE session, my sister, you know, give a little bruise in the head and be like, sorry, concussed, can't do PE today. I really wish I had done that when I was at school. I wish I was this good back then. But anyways, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, leave video suggestions down below. How many times am I going to say video? My god, I need to stop. Yeah, that is it.